Hey guys, my name's Karlyn Borysenko. Welcome to Decode the Left. This is a little bit of a late night stream. It's almost 1 a.m. where I am. And I kind of decided just to give it a try and see, you know what? Maybe this will be a better time for people to join for live streams. Who knows? But I am really, 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 really excited because the Socialism Conference has finally released their streaming schedule. For people who don't know, the Socialism Conference is actually a real conference. It is actually called the Socialism Conference. It takes place in Chicago every year. It used to be run by the International Socialist Organization, and then there was a major Me Too scandal, and that kind of all fell apart. And then Haymarket Books, which kind of took over for the International Socialist Organization, they took over the Socialism Conference and have been running it ever since. Haymarket Books is the largest socialist book publisher in the United States, based out of Chicago, of course. How I really started covering socialism was the Socialism Conference. It just happened to be that I was paying attention one Saturday in 2022 when the Socialism Conference was streaming, and I was like, there's an actual conference called Socialism, and the very first presentation we ever watched from the Socialism Conference was called Transgender Marxism. And it's just as great as you think it is. It was based off a book that came out that year, also called Transgender Marxism, which I did try to read one time and is so difficult to read. It's just not a fun book at all. Anyway, that was the first ever Socialism Saturday, was Transgender Marxism at the Socialism 2022 conference. Well, a year later, I went undercover at the Socialism 2023 conference. This was my second time undercover at anything ever. My first time undercover was at the Socialist Reproductive Justice Conference at Hampshire College. So I decided just to really, like, as I do, I jump into things like kind of feet first. And I decided, instead of just doing a one-day event, why don't I fly to Chicago to go undercover for 4 days with radical revolutionary socialists from all around the country? So I did that, and I ended up accidentally getting the then president of the American Library Association on tape talking about how libraries should be sites of Marxist organizing. And it was great. But, when I went undercover at the conference, I kinda shot my shot, and now they watch for me everywhere. And fun fact, even in 2023, they preemptively banned me from the conference before I even got there. That was a whole other kerfuffle where they were really trying to keep me out, but they didn't know I was registered under a fake name. So even though they banned my real name from the conference, I was registered under a fake name, so it didn't matter. But anyway, the Socialism Conference looks for me now. So I can never go undercover at it again because I would probably get my ass kicked. But what's really great about it is they do actually do a streaming schedule. And last year we covered their streaming schedule, and it was like we watched like 22 hours of socialism within a 48-hour period. Almost went insane, got a viral clip on the internet. They were talking about blowing up a pipeline. There were these environmental justice socialists that were talking about blowing up a pipeline, so we clipped that, put that out on the internet. People didn't like that too much. Anyway, I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this year's Socialism Conference to put their streaming schedule live. And I was starting to wonder because I went undercover at their conference in 2023 and recorded them, because I streamed basically their entire live stream over like last year and made it go viral on the internet before the conference was even over. I was kind of like I was wondering, I was like, did I successfully scare the Socialism Conference off from doing a streaming schedule? I was really considering this. I was like, did I piss them off so much that they're just like, we're not doing this streaming shit anymore because that crazy woman always gets us with something? But they came through for us. They did. They just posted it on their website, and I will be covering all of this, and it will be 4th of July weekend. So if you have plans to go to a barbecue, cancel your plans to go to the barbecue. 4th of July weekend is socialism weekend. And that's just going to be the way it is, and everyone's going to have to suck it up. And facts don't care about your feelings, okay? If I have to be there, you have to be there too. But no, I actually do think this is going to be amazing to cover. Let me show you guys the schedule. Hang on. Here is the schedule. And we have you can see my knitting in front of that too. So, it starts on Thursday. Hang on, let's see if I can make this smaller, and that way we can all see it a little bit better. There we go. Isn't that nicer? Yeah. Bing. My janky webcam, my fancy setup. Thursday, July 3rd, Labor and Community Organizing Against the MAGA Billionaire Agenda. That's their first keynote. That's gonna be great. And then Friday, July 4th, so this is, Independence Day, obviously. I wanna do this one, Indigenous Grounded Solidarity, Then and Now. I think that's gonna be great. Rethinking Anti-Fascism. Come on. That's gonna be really good. Let's see, what's next? Labor and the struggle for higher education. So this is gonna be great because this is gonna be about who's, doing all the crazy shit at universities. And then we get a Sophie presentation. Check it out. Sophie, Gender, Sexuality, Reproduction in the State, Fighting Back Against the So-Called Law. That's gonna be fabulous. That's gonna be great. And then we get a keynote. We get, Fighting Fascism, Lessons from the Colonies. That's gonna be great. Saturday, July 5th, I wanna watch probably this one. No, this woman right here wrote a nonfiction book, no, a fiction book with Emmy O'Brien about the future socialist utopia. This is gonna be great. So revolutionary, accompaniment, holding each other when things fall apart. That's gonna be about, like, how do we survive the revolution together, and it's gonna be awesome. Let's see. I think we have to watch the border one. Our border is everywhere. The border is the crisis, but we really could go either way on it, honestly. And then let's see. Look at this. Oh, I definitely want to watch this. We need a good environmental justice presentation. What's at stake? Organizing for the climate Armageddon. And then check this out. Sexual democracy, moral panics, and trans politics. That's going to be great. So much good stuff in this. So much good stuff. Hang on. How do I turn around? There we go. There we go. I can't wait. I'm honestly giddy. I think like last year the schedule had a couple holes in it. I'm gonna be honest. This year I feel like the schedule, at least the streaming schedule, has no holes in it. It's gonna be great. Now, I'm not gonna say that I know people who are gonna be going to the socialism conference in person, but I might know multiple people who are gonna be going to the socialism conference in person. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that we might get some other information out of the socialism conference. I'm just saying socialism conference, like, just because 'cause I'm not going doesn't mean other people aren't going, okay? But luckily for us, the socialism conference at some point after the conference also does release all of their sessions. And we should probably still go back to last year because there were some sessions we never listened to from last year. Like there's always so much more socialism content on the internet that we can possibly keep up with, but the socialism conference will eventually release audio recordings of all their sessions. So it's not quite as good because you don't get the nice video and all that stuff, but still if there are really spicy sessions, we're going to be able to listen to those at some point too. So this is like one of our happiest times of year. The socialism conference is here. It's a couple weeks away. I know that it's people might be disappointed that it's 4th of July weekend, and I'm quite frankly a little disappointed as well. I think it sucks. The socialism conference is usually in September, and it's not anymore, apparently. So, whatever, we'll make do. It'll be a great weekend. So, everyone, clear your calendar. It's going to be awesome. All right, that's really all I have to talk about. I'm headed to bed. Have a good one, guys. Bye.